Hi friends, welcome to day 4. And I know I keep saying these techniques are my favorite techniques, but I really think today is one of my favorite elements of the M-word technique. Today you're going to learn something called effortless silence. And even though I'm saying effortless silence, a gentle reminder that this is not about silencing your mind. The hilarious part about silent meditation is that it often doesn't feel silent at all because there's all kinds of crazy things going on up here. So reminder that thoughts are not the enemy of meditation, effort is. So we're calling this technique the effortless silence. Right? So if the number one most common myth around meditation is that we think we got to stop our minds from thinking, so we've already covered that, right? So we know now that thoughts are not the enemy. Now I want to cover the number 2 most common myth around meditation. We think like, okay, I'm going to take this course with Emily Fletcher, and then I'm going to be transported into this cosmic abyss of black hole nothingness. But the thing is, you've already been to this cosmic abyss of black hole nothingness, and it's called blackout sleep. And it's actually not as restful for you as meditation. And here's why. So remember that saber-toothed tiger that I talked about a few days ago and what happens to the body when we get stressed? Well, let's say it's 10,000 years ago. You're in your encampment, you're trying to go to sleep, and there's a tiger roaming around outside. Now, if you've ever watched someone as they're falling asleep, their breathing is normal, and then when the brain clicks over into sleep state, the breathing changes, and suddenly it's right? We start revving quite high, we start breathing quite deeply. Now, the reason that that happens is that if your brain is in blackout sleep state, you need your heart and lungs and blood to be oxygenated so that if that tiger comes in, by the time you wake up and realize there's a tiger, you're ready to launch into fight or flight. Okay, so that's what happens when we sleep. Now, when we meditate, the exact opposite happens. When we're doing this effortless silence, our body is getting rest that's even deeper than sleep. Now, how do we know that? Our metabolic rate drops, our heart rate slows, and our body temperature cools, all of which is giving us this deep body rest. And here's the trick. Nature will not let you get this deep body rest physically and be in blackout sleep state mentally at the same time. Why? Because at this point, you're an evolutionary liability, right? If that tiger comes in, by the time you wake up and realize there's a tiger, and then your metabolic rate has to speed up fast enough to launch into fight or flight, your tiger snacks, right? He's already had you for lunch at that point. So basically, one or the other has to be on guard. When we're sleeping, brain is chilling, body's on guard. When we're meditating, body's chilling, brain is on guard. Okay? Now, I say all of this to let you let yourself off the hook. Meditation is not going to make you deaf. Okay? Your eardrums are still going to work just fine. If anything, they're going to work hyper fine. It's almost like you're going to have spidey senses. What I mean when I say that is like a heightened awareness or a heightened consciousness. And paradoxically, it is this hyper awareness that allows your body to get that deep rest. And that deep rest is what makes you better at life. Okay, so let's dive into a little effortless silence. Now, again, I want to give you a moment, settle in. You can tell your roommates that you need some me time. Make sure your phone's on silent, close down any other windows you have on your computer. And we want to sit just comfortably with the back supported and the head free. And as you start to settle in, just remembering that you're allowed to have thoughts, you're allowed to hear things, you don't have to be a frozen statue. We're going to be nice and easy. So go ahead and close the eyes. And we'll take a few breaths just to settle in. And I like to inhale for 2 and exhale for 4. Again, inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 4. Doubling the length of the exhale helps to calm the vagus nerve, which is the thing that connects your brain to your body. So again, inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 4. So again, inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 4. And one final time, inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 4. So, settling in, letting your body feel heavy, really feeling your body against the chair or the couch. And I'm going to give you a word. I want you to think it ever so gently, ever so innocently in the background of your mind. We're going to use this word almost like a mantra, almost like a mind vehicle. And you can imagine that you're just riding an anchor down to the bottom of the ocean. Just hearing this word ever so innocently and gently in the background of your mind. And we'll use the word one. One. You can think it ever so gently, ever so innocently, just hearing it. One. 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 Letting it get fainter and finer and softer. One. And knowing that it might just slip away and that other thoughts might come in, and that's all A-okay. Knowing that you have this word to come back to like an anchor. Giving yourself full permission to be exactly where you are. If your mind is racing, let it race. If the head feels heavy, just give yourself permission to fall into that feeling. Even if you feel like you're falling asleep, just give yourself permission to fall into that sleepy feeling. All the while knowing that you have this word one to come back to as an anchor. There's no need to be concerned with the tempo of the word. It might get a little bit faster. Sometimes it might slow down. It's all good. It's not yours to control. You're just hearing it in the background of your mind versus saying it. Letting it get innocent and faint and fine. And giving yourself permission to fall into whatever sensation is happening for you right now. You're doing great. Keep the eyes closed, but we'll let go of this word one, almost like we're cutting the cord to an anchor, gently allowing ourselves to float back up to the surface, into the body, into the room. Taking a few deep inhales. Breathing some life back into the body. So taking a big deep inhale, breathing some life into your body, starting to move your hands, starting to move the feet. And in your own time, Whenever you're ready, we can start to gently, slowly open the eyes. Really nice work. I know that sitting with yourself silently can be very challenging. Sometimes a lifetime of old stuff can start to come up and out, and it's very hard to let go of the old idea where we think we have to control the mind or stop the mind from thinking. So I really want to congratulate you on taking a moment to dive into this silent practice. So tomorrow we're going to revisit the effortless silence because this is really important. Share your experience because then again we'll learn from each other. All right, friends, happy meditating, and I'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of the effortless silence.